Welcome to our CWM, March 20th. Okay, let's go with the news update. Before that, 30-year interest rate. Now this week becomes 4.15, a little bit lower than last week. Last week was 4.25. The 15-year rate, I think it's the same. Okay, news update, let's go. Over 110,000 New Yorkers use illegal basement for living. Of course, in palpk, we have also same kind of situation. Mostly, they live in basement because they cannot afford high New York rent. So, fire department NY concerns poor ventilation and lack of fire alarm system and exposed to CO gas. As you know, CO gas is very dangerous, tasteless, no smell, no color, silent killer. And NYC Council initiated program to modify basement and legalize them in East New York in Brooklyn as a trial program. In other words, they provide the funding to change basement and with the permit, and then they made them legal. And if this program turns to be successful, then NYC plans to expand the program to other areas. I think we talked about this news a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully, at the time we said, hopefully we can do something in Palisades Park. There are so many basements. And in fact, our reality is, honestly, we don't know what to do about the basement rent. They're very difficult. Okay, but there are huge demand. Unofficially, Palisades Park population is about 30,000. Unofficially. But official census tells about 20,000. So we cannot avoid to use a basement as a living quarter. But it is still officially illegal. So it's for us, it's very difficult to get involved, to write a lease, and to charge actually a real estate fee. So right now, we don't do that. We usually let them handle the case between landlord and the tenant directly, if it's a basement involved. Okay, interesting enough, still they're talking about Amazon headquarters too. Even though Amazon said, no, we are not going to come in. But still, New Yorkers, most of New Yorkers, they want to Amazon HQ in Long Island City. According to Siena College poll, they surveyed 700 residents. 61% of New Yorkers expressed their opinion that Amazon HQ2 plan should have been should have come back, even though NYC needs to provide $3 billion tax benefits. Last week we talked about Hudson Yard project. Okay. By the way, Hudson Yard, the famous architectural sculpture called the Vessel. Yeah. It's beautiful. I think we should go and see. It's also good for children. But anyway, they opened, the Hudson Yard opened March 15th. Now, actually that project provided how much the benefit, including tax? About $6 billion. So it's kind of not fair. And more than half of the New Yorkers saying, even though we paid $3 billion tax benefit, still we liked Amazon come back because of other benefits. The plan should come back about 61% of New Yorkers and 30% saying no. And Governor Cuomo sent a letter to Amazon CEO Bezos to reconsider their plan to come back to Long Island City. Before, a couple of weeks ago, we also talked about on New York Times public letter about 40 politicians and college counselors. They kind of sent an official letter on the newspaper that saying basically, please come back. Okay, another news brief this week is Eminent Domain off the table in Leonia. I think last week, remember Leonia? They sent out to the resident about the redevelopment study in area of Grand Avenue and fortlee Road and Shoal Avenue, that area, intersection. So town planned the redevelopment in that area by Eminent Domain, but the end of February, the borough decided to cancel that plan. Borough officials unanimously adopted a resolution on Monday night, this week Monday night, to eliminate Eminent Domain from a redevelopment study that was approved by the council in September 2018. The move came in response to an outcry from homeowners who learned in January. In other words, in January, the town sent out a letter. They learned in January via letter from the borough there will be a study going on as an area in need of redevelopment. Now, what happened is the property owners formed a coalition called Leonia United Against Eminent Domain Abuse, and it worked. And also they enlisted the help of the Institute for Justice and a national civil liberty law firm dedicated to stopping the abuse of eminent domain across the country. So it worked. We don't know future what's going to happen. But also we know there will be a light rail station in that area, Grand Avenue and fortlee Road, that junction area near the Overpack Park. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Okay, another local news is probably you remember Gloria O. I think she is city council chair still. She wanted to be the town mayor, but town Democrat Party elected someone else, Ed Abassa, as a mayor candidate instead of Gloria O, among 8 delegates. So they voted for Edward, 5 votes, and Gloria got 3 votes. Abassa, I think he is a dentist. Okay, so now Edward Abassa is mayor candidate for the Democrat Party. So in this case, Gloria O might run as an independent mayor candidate without Democrat supporting, without Democrat endorsement. And she has to think whether she's going to do that, because deadline for registration for pre-election is April 1st. So it's going to be interesting. The next news brief is, again, is Eclipse. A lot of things going on in Eclipse. During council meeting at the end of February, Mario Klansek threatened the town attorney, Al Unch, and Councilman Allen Park witnessed. Mayor mentioned, "I will punch you in the face," to Al Unch. Mario Klansek, the current mayor, was censured by council in Eclipse. That means they stopped the doing mayor job. And it is the first time that mayor has been censured since town established. Mayor insisted he did it out of self-defense. Right now, Eclipse, multiple issues going on. The former police chief, Michael Sioff, police chief, he got sued, and finally he got settlement. But anyway, discriminatory speech and his suspension, etc., and settlement, etc., and also the former Unilever site, 800 Sylvan Avenue development plan that includes 600 units of apartment, and also Eclipse High School, which will cost $35 million per year. The next news is this 39th Street, 231 West 39th Street, Manhattan, between 7th and 8th Avenue. Recently rent on 1,100 square feet, which is about yearly $53,900 annual rate. This building is in Gammon District. I just want to give you some example. The Gammon District right now, the rent goes $49 per square feet, and they leased for 3 years. This building is about 12-story building. So you can compare this rent per square feet. Okay, this kind of building, 1,100 square feet in Gammon District. By the way, this building has about 100 fashion companies' showrooms. Okay, let's go next news. You remember we often talked about the 3D printer? Now, finally, this is a little bit serious stuff. The machine called Vulcan, they can build kind of a bungalow type of house in 3 days. 3D printer is coming out, okay? Then computer puts all the design in the computer to this machine, and you put the concrete in one side of the printer, and it produces layer of the house according to the design. So they stack up the layer by layer, and it becomes house. You know dog 샤페? I didn't know the dog 그 가죽이 쭈글쭈글한 주름살 진 덕 있죠 왜? 문제는 the problem is the building becomes like that because it stack up layer by layer. Okay, that's kind of a disadvantage. But anyway, it's doable, and the construction cost saving is about 30%. So it's kind of a real, not anymore just like a toy. Okay. Another news is Millionaire Generation is a bigger player in residential market. According to CoreLogic, Millionaires, 1981 through 1996. The mortgage application took 44% of the total application in 2018, which is increased by 2% from the last year. And as of 2016 census, millionaire population was 75.4 million, exceeds the baby boomer population of 74.9 million. And they show strong influence in Midwest in US, but weak in South and West like California, and East like New York area. And also they show preference in border area of other states. In New York case, for instance, near Pennsylvania area. So a little bit rural area, they had a strong presence, the preference. And where the house price is relatively low. And another news brief is January new construction sales dropped. January new construction sales reached at 607,000, which was decreased by 6.9% from last month, and decreased by 4.1% from last year. And Wall Street Journal forecast was 622,000. So they could not reach to the forecast. The reason is U.S. government shutdown, probably, even though interest rate went down, according to CNBC. And new construction sales usually takes about 10% of whole U.S. sales. And median price of new construction is $317,200, which is quite low if we think of this area, right? But this is the entire U.S. And that's decreased by 3.8% from the last year. Okay, so new construction is not doing well in January, and we will see more statistics in February and March. Okay, and final news about the Tesla again. I think we have a more often Tesla news, but they announced SUV, new electric SUV Model Y. I don't know how much that will be, but compared to Model 3, I think it's going to be not that expensive model. It's a modest model in terms of price. But anyway, so it's the first time they built electric SUV.